Everybody say,
Good morning, baby Biara, or good afternoon and good evening, depending on the location in which you are. Se moja eji fusani na tekremada abodwemu a na adom otwede ampon adom a ɔde akyɛ yɛn na ɛnɛ nso ɔde nkwa akyɛ yɛn sɛ yɛmfa saa dwumadie mbra makwan. Ɛnɛ nso adom ne nti no BWF Solicitors asɔre efiri ɔmo dwom sɛ ɛnɛ nneɛma a ɛkokɔ ɔkɔ so wɔ yɛ abrabɔ mu ɛwɔ kurom ha ne afaanafaan nyinaa no ɔmo de ba abɛto dwa na yɛmpɛ biribi nwom yɛmpɛ nsɛmpɛnsɛmu na yɛmfa nea ɛbɛboa yɛn ɛwom. Enti mɛsrɛ wo sɛ woaba so a bɔ mmɔden a na kyekyɛ na ɔdɔfoɔ bi nso ɛnyɛ bi na ɔntie. BWF Solicitors yɛkyerɛ kwan ɛnyɛ yɛra kwan koraa. Sɛ wohwehwɛ yɛn a yɛwɔ BWF Solicitors building no mu a ɛwɔ Anna House ɛwɔ Seven Sisters tube station ne pɛpɛɛpɛ wodu hɔ nom a wobɛhu abansoro bi wɔ hɔ bɔ mmɔden anabɔre mu. Na ɛnɛ adwumadi a yɛde ba no ɛnam sɛ friada biara yɛba with different topic ɛnɛ nso yɛasan akɔfɛ bi a ɛmo ɔhwam ɛmo ɔdɛ ɛbɛboa yɛn nyinaa titiriw yɛn a yɛwɔ kurom ha ɛyɛ UK abɔnten so. Na mɛsrɛ sɛ bɔ mmɔden a naka yɛn ho fiti sesebere a up to 11 na wobɛnya wo kyɛfa ɛwɔ mu. Metwa me ho kakra aba na meba na ɛde dwumadie no atoa so.
Yɛyɛ fɛ ma yɛwɔ London. Yɛgye abasobɔdeɛ bebree na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu. Ɛyɛ legal services bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ, yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna twitwa gye woɔ na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa, Bennard Owusu ayɛ lawyer ɛwɔ UK man mu bɛburu mfeɛ 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wɔn ho. Nti sɛ ba na ebusuansɛm bi te sɛ child care, ɛyɛ abofra hwɛ mu, awaregya yɛ ho twema mentwe, ɛne ɔhyɛ anaa injunction a yɛde to domestic violence so a, yɛmma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care ɛne family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea ɛyɛ wɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti ne yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agyina to mu na ɔsan so yɛ member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina w'akyi ɛtwitwa agyew ɛwɔ family ɛne matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw koraa. Wopɛ advice ɛwɔ immigration nsɛnsɛm ho. Wɔ BWF Solicitors deɛ, yɛn immigration team no aredare ɛwɔ general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho ntotoyɛ, ɛne entry clearance visas, family visas ne appeals. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ member na wasan gyina tom ɛwɔ Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Nti sɛ yɛtae w'akyi a wonni haw koraa. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada anɔpa nɔnkron pɛɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia ɛyɛ 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM ɛna memeneda nso ɛyɛ appointment nkoa free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia nɔnan ɛyɛ 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sɛ wo nante free Seven Sisters Underground nso a ɛyɛ kwan tiaa bi. Yɛn senior partner Bennard Owusu san yɛ barrister yɛagyina to mu na ɔyɛ Ghana Bar Association member ɛna wasan gyina sɛ mmaranimfoɔ ɛwɔ court cases a ɛfa Ghana law ho. Wɔ advising local authorities, official solicitors office ne solicitors bebree ɛfa Ghanaian law ho yie. Na ɔsan yɛ obi a ɔtae kasa ɛwɔ radio ɛne TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Yo, Madam Wasibium sɛ memamu biara akɔ aba ɛba dwumadie so. Ɛnɛ nso ɛyɛ fiada the last day of September na megye de sɛ September no ɛno yɛn nyinaa ɛdi ne yie. Nti aseda nko a na yɛde bɛma otwede ampɔn. yɛbɛhyɛ yɛ ase medikan aba mo nkaeɛ ketewa bi ne sɛ kurom ha yɛn nyinaa yɛnim yɛn £20 ne yɛn £50 a ɛwɔ system ɛyɛ tetedeɛ no anaa dada no a yɛdi no ɛnɛ ɛyɛ last day a aban no de ama yɛn nti sɛ obi biara a ɔretie yɛ menim sɛ dodoɔ no anya mbaa so deɛ ba sɛ woretie yɛ a bɔ obi nkaeɛ sɛ so obi da hɔ a ɔmbɔ mmɔden na ɔmfa nkɔ back because after ɛnɛ no obi bia entumi enyusu saa sika yi ɛyɛ £50 ɛne £20 old note no obi entumi enyusu bio medam ase sɛ ma etie saa kasa yi a mede abetu dwa yi yo yɛbɛkɔ yɛnim ɛne sɛ mmere bebree mmere tiawa biara anaasɛ mmere a ɛkɔ yɛnim ya nneɛma a ɛfefafa yɛ abrabɔ ho yi everyday biara foforɔ ɛde ba na ɛyɛ na yɛde yɛn ho tututu dwa sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ establish immigration nsɛm me mabrabɔ mu nsɛm menya nkrataa mpo nneɛma a mefifa efe mu menya nso nneɛma a ɔsɛ mefa mu obi wɔ hɔ a ɔba ɔno ɔyɛ single person opagya ne bag efiri Ghana ɛde ba kurom ha na afei waba kurom ha no nso no wobɛhu a na wabɛnya ne dɔfo bi na afei wanya ne dɔfo bi na ɔbɛpere sɛ wobɛnya nkrataa a ɔde bɛtena kurom ha ayɛ adwuma na wetumi ɔno nso ayɛ yie wɔ kurom ha na wobɛnya nkrataa nso afei na ɛbɛba ne sɛ ɔsɛ ɔpɛ baabi ɔne ne kunu anaa bia na ɔmo start family na ɔmo establish ɔmo ho na neɛteɛ ne sɛ kurom ha no there are few ways a wobɛtumi establish mbia wobɛtumi atɔ property mbia wobɛtumi arenti property privately anaasɛ mbi mpo a na bɔre a wowɔ mu no council na ɛhwɛ saa bɔre no so wobɛtumi nso anya dan efiri saa council no nti ɛnɛ yɛba bɛpɛnsɛmpɛnsɛm na ansa na mɛhyɛ da koraa introduce ade pɔteɛ na yɛba bɛka ho no mɛsrɛ na me resource person a ɛnɛ yɛnya the paymo himself Uncle Ben na ɔne yɛn ba bɛdi sɛ adwuma yi ɔba bɛkyerɛkyerɛ na mmom mɛma no de nkyia kɛseɛ ne atene ama etiefoɔ ne ahwɛfoɔ nyinara na owie a afei mede me nsɛm a mewɔ a ɛfa saa dwumadi a ɛba bɛdi ho na ma mebisabisa no na yɛtumi akɔ yɛnim na mesa bɔ mo nkaeɛ sɛ mesrɛ mo ani deɛ mo aba so fɛfɛɛfɛ ma mo nko a mo nkyɛ mfa mombɔ mmɔden a na monkyekyɛ na obi nso nyɛ bi monkɔ Facebook ne so na monhyɛ monkɔ YouTube ne so na monhyɛ all the medias na yɛwɔ no monhyɛ motie yɛn so ɛwɔ BW radio no wobɛnya a mbia na wantumi anhwɛ wɔ Facebook anaasɛ YouTube na kɔ BW radio ɛyɛ kɔ garden radio garden anaasɛ yes radio garden no so ana modern Ghana na type BW radio wobɛnya yɛn wɔ hɔnom na wetie yɛn pɛpɛɛpɛ wote wo kaa mu na wokɔ na wotie saa na ɛyɛ no saa nso na BW communications platforms nso no nyinaa yɛwɔ hɔ saa nso na yɛnnua abaawa radio ɔmo nso ɔmo apiki saa dwumadie yi na ɔmo tie sisi a ɛwɔ ɔmo radio no so nti mɛsrɛ wo nso bɛka ho na kyekyɛ na obi nso ɛnya bi ɛnhwɛ ti yo mɛkɔ so mema Uncle Ben a very good morning to you Uncle Ben patro mema ho kwan na fa atene kɛseɛ ɛma etiefoɔ na ahwɛfoɔ na afei memfa me nsɛm bisa no ɛmbɛto dwa medas
hello good morning manya tea na to say
adom nkora papa patro me ho yɛ na wonso
yɛ de radiase yɛkyia etiefo ane wɔn a wɔbɛka yɛ ho titiriw mo ade bia mo bɛka yɛ ho ɛhyɛ mo like na mo comment yɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ mo kɔ so ɛbɛka yɛ ho anɔpɛ nso yɛda nyame ase sɛ ɔde yɛn nkwa akyɛ yɛ wama yɛ ahoɔden tumi ɛne nkwa a yɛtumi ɛne mo abɛtena ha na I'm say for some weeks a couple of months BWF Solicitors laser focused on the current economic situation yɛnyina sɛ nneɛma nhyɛ da nkɔ yie nneɛma boa yɛ den nti yɛaka sɛ na wobɛtumi anyɛ sika bi sɛ wo ho kyerɛw a sɛ na wobɛtumi ayɛ free application sɛ wo ho kyerɛw a sɛ na wobɛtumi atɔ wo dan mortgages sɛ wowɔ sika a ana ɛnɛ no yɛ focus on sɛ na wobɛtumi anya council flat and social housing sabio ɛno no cost no ɛyɛ very very cheap and to say the private accommodation and then atum mochina ni atum social housing deɛ obi anim sɛ one ɛyɛ secured and two unya dia ɛboɔ no ɛwɔ fam papa tiene na ye be focus on ye be focus on sana wobetimi aye one a ombetimi aye na emom waye kra na wo waiting list then na wobetimi aye no move from one band to the other eno no ebema wetimi enya wo dan no entem enti sɛ wonim obi a sɛbio oni baabi te anaa ɔpɛ aban dan a council flat anaa housing association ne nyinaa wode bom a yɛfrɛ no social housing ne din a ne sɛ ɛyɛ biribi ɛdan a ne boɔ wɔ fam because rent no yɛhwɛ the income for the area and yɛde asɛte rent ɛnte sɛ yɛva private rental ɛno no ɛyɛ dictated by supply and demand enti normally no ne bo soro ti emfa nse ofa Tottenham say na ebia 1 bedroom ye 1,200 a month cancel no obetimi nya na ebia be 600 and 700 a month wo form na chere say emuda ho nti eno na ye focus on nti obi anya ne questions ready numbers amobetimi afre no so ye be show in a minute amobetimi afre me pese ye boa titru omo a genuinely omu ni bebite omu hia bebite ebi omo ye bibi e friend sofa surfing ene wo konadam for here a china no wetu obi onyem obi oye disabled obi oye vulnerable obi asabio maybe a domestic violence ni nyina ye be ka ni nyina sa na be boa obi a na wo a odi wo mu no watimi ayi woni bi kra na at least obeti ase na obi wo ehia mo a watimi aboa no ntimanye mesa atoma.
Yo, Uncle Ben, me that's it. And the way me do man, why you half a man, me that's it. Yo, near Tiana say, ya can social housing, I na dodo na epre, crime ben, number faso na when ye be. And mesre, any demo, mo amuti in Nara, na mo amoshe in Nara. Misre mo mombo mo dia, mon chep program, na dodo na benyanka. Fall into a dear way be normal so omonya social housing maybe. And that boy dempa na meda BWF Solicitors as in so pa say for the past few weeks Nyoma ebeboa yen community na eno nko a se obetumi atọ dai se si ampo cost of living ya aba nyame ya adoma ochena yesi yen gas and electricity bill no ye betrepo no saa nyoma nyina no ha society no but then also no there are few ways say winnimu you know how to live and live happy even though we are in these times enti no ebi na BWF Solicitors omatete ya na otwimu nyina kwan a obefa so a nyoma ekoso no wonso so hu behin ha enti BWF Solicitors yesa edamase biom. Yo, yabeko ye nim nansa na mesa baso ewo topic no mesre dodo na abaso ni nyina nyame nhira mo ye odihye ba nana kwaku meye dede odi de o say good morning Kevin Asamoah say good morning manye any Uncle Ben ye da say na call good morning to you all any k any nyoma kosen ye wi ama mente wonka why Angie Nana Owusu or say good morning Auntie Angie salute pacho anope mi jude say adomno bro so ejewa and ajimai was to say good morning Derek Yabua I say good morning family making kind of the ye no me find so hona ye nya kwan ye digest into the topic that we have today senior beya you benya enough time to ask questions na ye nya phone calls na so dodo no as time goes on me mbo udi ampacho emane ha mebo bibia mesi na mebo ama wo question bi nso a obetumi de aba se obisa wo Facebook ni so a mekan ama ana se embi mpo a opese wo frɛ na onye mo kwan mbia na line na ye little bit engage but modern naja voice note ewo 07596620154 WhatsApp only na ye sha se a me de telephone numbers nso ba betuda enti yenkoye nem Uncle Ben yo ye beda asibiom se ye to yensa frɛ wo no wa ba na ode topic wa be kyerɛkyerɛ ye me obi a me kromu Ghana aba me bobo mambrabo ewa ha se ne be ya me hu be hin me na metumi ahwɛ me busua ene efiefo nso nyinara na maban mabenya busua mabeye family na me pese me to dan nansen ye be kire ye kwan a obefa so obetumi ato dan few things a yɛakyerɛkyerɛ ɛnɛ yɛrehwɛ social housing a titiri no a yɛfrɛ no council house anaa council flat ɛne ɛwɔ yɛ ano bebree. Menya me nkrataa wie yɛnim sɛ ebi sei sɛ wonni nkrataa a wontumi nya social housing, sɛ wonni nkrataa wontumi nya council flat. Yo yɛmfa ne sɛ me nso menya nkrataa mewɔ mba na mepɛ sɛ menyɛ bi. Ɛkwan bɛn na ɔsɛ mefa so a metumi enya, because yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛnea dambo ɔden no sɛ wokɔhwɛ na yɛde bɔ wo tirim a w'adwuma sika ɛnso hɔ a wobɛhu no ayɛ basaa. Enti dodoɔ na ebi mo tumi koraa ɛkɔ ɔmo kɔgye private accommodation na ɔmo akyekyɛ ɔmo tumi kyekyɛ to the extent sɛ living room ne koraa na yɛde ayɛ dan. Wobɛkɔ obi mbia storage room koraa na yɛ converting into dan, because rooms or accommodation has become very expensive nowadays. Nti no say mbia o akonya say ubetumi wonso go into the list of the social housing na Uncle Ben Mr. Kwan Ben nti na topic ni say how to make a successful application for a council flat or a social housing. Uncle Ben pacho mesa etuma wadaroma.
Yo manya first of all no say yakase social housing a dan. So yakase social housing me explain it but for joining and me explain it. Social housing affordable accommodation either say housing association or not for profit or provide a dime and I say local authority from council no omo provide a cheaper, a more secured, a bit more quality, and also a meet needs, a needs led. Ain't so you can social housing social housing a dime a buying and a day how through council, and I say a buying a day how through other organizations from housing associations, and I say not for profit housing associations. Housing associations in Ibebre are not for profit. In fact, omunyina are not for profit. A case will be a not for profiter. Just say, botaya or de ye jumano, and yes, or pe faswefrim nemum or de bois. Tisa two organizations are a provided social housing, a housing association and a council. No, omu a share a buying actual ato housing act nim. And as some BWF no ancillary and as secondary legislation a support to housing act no ama emma a share se near me be a wo wabraboma I was say housing association a council na be refer wo and our council nankasa no omo ma accommodation. Then na yehwe first of all no meka social housing ye wo permanent housing and your temporary accommodation. Permanent accommodation and a temporary accommodation. And to the focus, are most of your community a permanent accommodation and a long-term accommodation. You say temporary accommodation, it be a long term. And because the council no a share obi a war ahochiremu anase oba within a certain category of people was a utimi emane baby tina no no mo de akotena baby a friend of temporary accommodation enti niema ben ne yehwe yewo 5 factors yehwe. The first one no was nipa no oye legally homeless. Menka homeless me say legally homeless. Because homelessness, the definition are both defined by statute and case law. Supreme Court cases and a Court of Appeal cases define dear friend lawful homelessness. May I explain the entire? Me use the qualification lawful homelessness. 2. I was saying the panel immigration status. Status in be say or you're British and Irish or European, and also on indefinite leave, and also a refugee. Pacho muntie ye. Obi awo indefinite leave. Oye European national and in abusuafo. Obi a oye Irish. Obi a oye refugee. Now, meka se obi owo indefinite but meka European any omo busuafo a omo busuafo ne European no nye omo nyina no omo indefinite obi wo limited leave to remain but we had the limited leave to remain now you ensure no recourse to public funds. You share the definition of public funds, social housing, eka 2.5 years, near true, no recourse to public funds, won't me enya social housing, and as council flat, and as housing association. And the third one, no, and it's a priority need. Omo priority need here, obia, offensive domestic violence, obia, we free care leaver, between the ages of 16 and 18. Obia, or you're pregnant. Obia, or you're disabled. Obia, or mental health issues. Obia, or medical condition. Obia, offensive flood, and our fire, there are other priority needs, mekoswaka. So 3, who qualify for 3-year immigration, lawful accommodation, lawful homelessness, and immigration status. Within immigration status, your friend of habitual residence. I was say over UK when you're at least 2 years or her. So over UK when you're at least 2 years or her, or you're habitually resident. And so 3 factors, when you follow within PET, I was say council, I accommodate you temporary. Also accommodate you temporary. Mashada na mi boom sir, because sometimes na I entiasie. Temporary could be from days to months. Days to months. And it is who face domestic violence. Now who follow within the 3 categories. Cancel bet me a dime immediately. It may be a hotel, it may be a women's refuge, it may be a safe shelter, but whatever it is, cancel a accommodation. There are other 2 factors. I was some medical. 1, homelessness, and yet intentional. Until you na wo cause homelessness no. So you na wo cause homelessness na kyerɛ sɛ wo within the 3 factors when you 1 factor aka ho. Enti ɛnyɛ wo fault enti na wo yɛ homeless no. The final one no wo connection to the local area. What in Manchester we move about Hackney because uni uku ewo problem domestic violence. What ba wadam for a friend Yautano, only Yautano the tea. Until wo ye be a friend is sofa surfing. Yautano amount notice, say, or accommodate you for only 1 month until what the court cancel. Because you're potentially homeless and the cancel beboa. But wo fi Hackney, wo fi Manchester. One tonight Hackney for 6 months until we need local connection. Now these are the things now make no. But so we dream who here make first 3 factors. Me say I was say abano amount temporary accommodation. Until all those we need local connection. And now say we homelessness one our call so yeah. But we will follow within the first 3. Lawful homelessness, immigration status, priority need. So we follow within the first 3 now. I was all my dying. Temporary. And America said it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. Sometimes it could be years. But Court of Appeal can say, omo housing scheme no. Say na omo band na your band 1, band 2, band 3. Ube say move up. Or preference. Say ube choose, ube your selection. Once I wire application, I will say update your application regularly. I don't know move up. Court of Appeal say, council don't mean for temporary accommodation as if so permanent accommodation. So we meet the other 2 in addition to the 3 now. Local connection and a new fall to say we are homeless now. I will say a more accommodation. Manyati, the entire matumebo achichemu no say in bebree wo ho a ya ma omo temporary accommodation. Omo tena ho for so many years you move omo. It may be say we be used to court process no e de nya dan no case law kyerɛ sɛ council no entimi enka sɛ okay when meet your needs but you need dan a yɛde bɛma wo ɛnyɛ ade a council no betimi aka sɛ council no ni dan a obetimi ama wo a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔyɛ provision it has be refer ama housing association and also be move every area no I refer to another neighbor neighborhood or housing facilities. And to qualify, I will say we meet 5 tests for permanent housing, but for temporary housing, I had the first 3.
3. Okay. Wow. Uncle Ben, we dear essay, we dear, yeah, that's a senior white church. So, what my atias here, the permanent one and the temporary one. So, for getting, if you want to get the permanent one, and you'll say, we qualify for all the 5 aspects now, what church, and for the council to be able to give you the temporary one and your first 3, you must fall within that category. And yeah, that's it. As time goes on, meaning say more questions will be coming on up. You can say, oh, temporary one. You just the last statement that you made, or temporary accommodation up to years, because some years be about be gusu bebre minimum chrophobia, so what temporary accommodation for like 3 years, 4 years. Uncle Ben said, who made all the 5 categories na council no Emma Obia, who as the residents no dear now say wo ye senior beya council no be hu and says omure fiwa omenya nkaye say asemesi sisi I will meet all the 5 categories until see a move on patcho who as the tenant dear now say wo ye efa.
First of all, temporary accommodation, temporary accommodation. So we have application for housing department, be determined first of all, say 1 will fall within 3 categories now. I was on my assessment. To follow within 3 categories now, council who now we share that you're homeless, so and you now share that. May I explain this concept to you now. So we meet the first 3 now. I mean repeat the first 3 no. First 3 no yeah. 1, we are legally homeless. 2, we are immigration status. And we are habitually resident. 3, we follow within priority need. So we meet the first 3 now, we qualify for temporary accommodation. And American, it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. However, so we meet the other 2. 1, and you know we are intentionally homeless. And 2, within your law, say you know we are intentionally homeless, or connection to the local area. I will say about permanent accommodation. Say council now temporary accommodation for 3 years. I was so my reason here on to me my permanent accommodation. The usual reason is because omode wato band no won't do band 1 or band 3 and our band 2 because we say we move up we check you bid now and you bid for the housing stock and then you pese ya kiremo say na obetimi abid no why successful no enti the fact say what the application akoto no ekuyatene wa mentonda mesrew visit your application because it's online who say na we progress it. Into why application is 6 months, 1 year. Now we move we are pregnant. Potentially baby are what no. Because we are pregnant, we are cause overcrowded. But just remember, say we are cause overcrowded. However, baby out within the last couple of weeks, when you're disrepair, when you're fire, when you're flooded, and now say well baby I join a gang, into gang and into ama wone wo ba nyina no mabaya vulnerable people to gang attacks. Within that the priority need is gone up. And yes we are pregnant alone, but flooding aba, disrepair aba, fire aba. And now say we are vulnerable to the extent say gang warfare affected wo ba ene and immediately we priority need in akosoro. And that is why I say the first application, it doesn't stop there. But I was say every time we update application. I was say we update. It may be say we have application. Now, oba ne bema, omunyina under 10. Within your law, say opposite sex, even some of your family members, no more above 10. I was so omunyina enya omo dying. The need for that, then they say overcrowded. one of the requirements for priority needs is overcrowded. And it say obi a functional overcrowded and as a legally overcrowded under part 10 of the Housing Act. Immediately no the priority need no ekosro. And no one of the reasons are I was a witimi move from either band 3 to band 2 and now band 2 to band 1. Now we are conscious say we bidding process no we be updating no every day. And no other be ma when you cancel flat in term.
Okay. Yo, Uncle Ben, ye da se ne nkyerɛkyerɛ mu na afɛdeɛ yɛnkɔ yɛkyi kakra nso. You made mention say obi betumi ayɛ legally homeless. Na kyerɛ sɛ obi wɔ hɔ a ɔno a na ɔyɛ ne ho homeless a ɛnyɛ legal na mpatwɛ hɔ no wobɛtumi akyɛ deɛ na wobɛyɛ a ɛbɛma bɛyɛ homeless na mmom ɛnyɛ legal for you to be able to qualify as a legally homeless. Mpatwɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ hɔ no kakra de ama yɛ mpatwɛ.
Okay, so first of all, no, say obi a legally homeless. First of all, we follow process in here. To qualify as a legally homeless person, one is either you are homeless into uni baby da, and I say uwo baby da. Ya serve either section 21 and section 8 notice. Ain't we are potentially homeless. And I said bailiff aba betu. And I said otawadam funche wama notice. And I said we a lodger, ye can lodger the other time. Lodger in yasa obe mau notice, but wa mau what in no verbally a catch say to free me fee her. And I said we a sofa surfing. Sa niema ni nyina no, and then I said we are legally homeless. Enti say amount section 121 notice. Na notice period no entwe more. We are potentially homeless, but we are homeless. But the definition of homelessness, no, legally homeless, no, either the notice period either under 21 or 18, or 8, and I say wako court when your eviction notice. If you go court, crana court evictiwa, say bailiff for ma and may say omu be two everywhere. And I say we obi a woni wukun ana wo yereti upie ba no ye change lock no ye change lock no technically no wo ba bite but we are legally homeless. Now the final requirement no to be legally homeless and say we need dying for e wo ba bia enti sa wote hackney na wukun abo we are pregnant we are vulnerable we need ba bite we are potentially homeless or private landlord a two wadamfo akangu wasum se free ho nipa na wo lodge won ho no aka kire se free ho na mmom wo 3 bedroom ewo gomoa fanchene ko ana se gomoa asebu ana se abeka na wo kopɛ wo ho asɛm na wo ka kire mo se wo 3 bedroom o Ghana na wo te haknia ya beka kire se kotena wo dan na wo Ghana nim wonye legally homeless. The problem is that you will not be entitled to temporary accommodation. No, much more permanent accommodation. Now, I say this, I'm often too hopeful. So, what failure will form now? Wow, we have this application about Chromo Harness and Yamanino. More than dying, or mansion in Yamano. Or mansion or Ghana, now Baha, now obey your homeless, because of mansion or Ghana, no. Ida say we back of our mansion aba kromoha and I will be to kromoha akotena mansion wonye legally homeless and you cast legally homelessness and no ana metre
You Uncle Ben. Hey, when the a 90 sack daka anka me de beko obi manso. So next year Uncle Ben acheche mo legally homeless no wa cheche mo. Na eto de bia Uncle Ben. Eto de bia na obi Yamane dying all right. Then somewhere along the line, no, ube na say your rent issue, say your because I know say even if you are facing payment issues, and you can say we do my sell or prime bis na bibia, council na aye provisions are omeshe na omontinetino na say near you still live under the umbrella. Now so be obi wo na ye say council na ngasa kra na etunu anaya be ni nyo mego abonte. To what extent na obi say ebe go through ade we mo bacho?
Well, first of all, sir, wouldn't me afford or renter when you're intentionally homeless. Within the law, no, legally homeless, no, and intentional homelessness, no, it may be say, oh, ska obeti me a 2 hour rent, but won't you? Now, rent, 2 no nye rent, no, rent, food, and other things to go with your life. Enti utility bills ne saa nneɛma no. Enti sɛ me yɛ adwuma a ebia me yɛ forklift driver ɛwɔ Bernard Enterprise. Me pay a month no ɛyɛ 1,500. Me high dan ɛwɔ Tottenham. Flat no ɛyɛ 1,200. Manyeti aka me ahe. Aka 300. Electricity kosoro, gas kosoro, any water. Mitua eno month ya aka mi sika £50. £50 no minto mediane, minto matare, minto minku, mintua me water, mintua me mobile phone, mintua me TV license. Because of that, no, one of the reasons mean to me and afford those is one of the reasons obey me they apply for council flat because we be potentially homeless because we to me to rent no and you say me to me because 1,000 to me 1,005 to make me a year but the other things na ka ho ne meduane a medi no ye tete ne nyina free ma me to me to ya enti eno no ye to me free sa dan anymore a me intentionally homeless me homeless because na mean to me entua affordability test no it determine whether you are intentionally homeless and answer when you're intentionally homeless. They all feed into the fifth factor and they say and nyawo na wo bo witrim say wo pese we homeless so ana council ana housing association accommodate you and say what baby na what to sika nyina na wontimi ntua one of the factors ebetimi ede wato the priority need council ebema either temporary accommodation and now we meet the other two requirements now which is connection and unintentional homelessness now ebema permanent accommodation.
Thank you, Uncle Ben. Having mentioned affordability requirements, nature say opese will apply for council housing and social housing now. There may be this test and I say you behwe say you fall within that requirement now almost no nature say on meye near friend say assessment and Uncle Ben enti say mbia wono lodge obi ho ana obi A2 ana bibi saa uba beye homeless na obeko say me ko apply for social housing na se be yes assessment na Uncle Ben minim say ho no say yete ase yi assessment no come to play because also mo hu say mbia ubetumi etua na say untumi ntia nti say omo yes assessment no na ye hu say wo aketu a wo gina wo lodge obi ho kra no etumi rent private accommodation and I say when they finish with the assessment na ye hu the outcome of it na say you can afford that Uncle Ben still ubetumi go into social housing as well.
Now affordability enka 5 test nim.
Okay.
The only reason I made the affordability bear when I say so wouldn't me afford a boy or priority need. A mao are potentially homeless because you're potentially destitute. The definition of destitution under the National Assistance Act and includes will be a me afford housing. I know afford the housing, but me affording the daily expenses. That is the definition of destitution. First of all, no, say we meet the first 3 tests. We are legally homeless. We know what legally homeless is.
Yes.
2, we are immigration status until we get restricted to public funds. Definition of public funds includes council accommodation and housing association accommodation.
Okay.
And the final one, no, we are priority need. Priority need: pregnancy, disability, care leaver, mental health issues, medical conditions, immediate flood in your accommodation, disrepair, and domestic violence. Sanya at about priority need. Into we are entitled. Now we are entitled to temporary accommodation. Mashadana me see ahano suyi because our 3 We are legally homeless. We were immigration status. We were priority need. We were priority need. It includes obi oya pregnant, obi oya disabled, obi a sebio domestic violence, obi oya care leaver, obi a ofi hospital aba, obi a ofi prison aba, obi a discharging from the army. Sa nkrofo ni nyina no omo ewo priority need. Inti se wo priority need a now when you're connected to the area, ebi ofi Manchester, but they say oh Hackney. Two, one why you homeless because who is can untia renter. A buy no and social housing for no. I was all more accommodate you temporary, but permanent accommodation. I was say homelessness, no, unintentional. Two, I was say local connection. Local connection, no, they say what's not a particular local area within the catchment area, no, for at least 6 months. And I will be to me, you define also local connection to the area. To be will apply for council accommodation. Now you transfer na come baby almost feel so local connection no. But Court of Appeal akase. So time now what the abetna area mo na. Omo a bia wakotena o maame nchen. Ote Birmingham. We move about o maame ho. O maame se bi waka baby into the council flat. Council for say 2. We say mean 2. What na mo omo de wako court na niema 6 months aba. Utimi a fresh application. Because when you're 6 months into what connection to the local area, Court of Appeal say, so I factored into a way of Croydon case. So I factored and said, what now 6 months, you know, what be your local connection? And that was the only reason here, Oma money panel accommodation. See, when you say connection, no, we update na application, no, and now I have fresh application. And into no, I was say a man of permanent accommodation.
Asami dem yes yo Uncle Bear that's ye go so aha ye bisa nsem ye beko afi the immigration status but then mema adofo na tiefo nso kwan embia na question bi kire wadwe wo pese wo de ba in terms in ebe a oremfi no enche bia just 5 minutes per me be telephone lines no na won so betumi abebisa wasem and it could be say bia nsem a ye ka ho no na wo question na say enye numpo na wo question based on na pupu ti still a frɛ ne bisa wasem say wo frɛ na bebia wo no ntumi nkasa wo betumi ja voice note ana so betumi asend text message e de aba na ya kenka na Uncle Ben eyiwa no enti no me producer but just 5 minutes now the telephone numbers ne nyina atudwa ama me na etiefo na ahwefo enya mo kwan eteme bi so mo question yo Uncle Ben yenko yenim yetumi hu say o ka local connection no na tre say me hu ebimu a watna sa locality no for number of years entina sisia or apply you can say social housing no so no yebema no temporary accommodation no typical one na be a da menim sisia no na overcrowded na temporary accommodation na ye pejama no preko ye de ne call housing Uncle Ben ye share distance from Croydon to housing na fe inkwala na involve no almost school because a temporary accommodation almost school ba besisa traveling from Croydon to housing just on a temporary accommodation tino udi akola no betu kwaniaba mbia wo pese obesisen school a Uncle Ben eba ne sa now fall into such category bibi wo ho a wo betumi aye a council no beka se there bi or say ye pe locality ho na ne emfa mount temporary na say council ni bebia nti no metu akoto trema nkosa na nampacho.
Well, council no main duty and it's on my accommodation. Within sa example ya wame, there will be a bit of travel, but and yet dire and from Croydon to okay.
Housing.
Croydon to housing, maybe your best is a train, maybe your trains will be 1 hour. A reasonable provision of accommodation. Because omo ni stock no omo neighbor was stock until omo they will call omo neighbor and they take children's education into consideration. But who be ofi Canning Town, Newham, I then I call Basildon and I say Romford. Or share a bit of distance home, but wobɛtumi ayɛ either bus journey or train journey. Those are factors of the com. And you're unreasonable.
Okay, internet just say no dear want to me in
Absolutely.
yeah, no, had you. Young queen, it's here for me. Be a telephone lines not to whilst I'm still asking Uncle Ben some few questions based on what we are discussing today. Telephone lines that you can also call to ask your question, any question at all based on or concerning immigrations, your migration issues, family law, mitigation and litigations, or even Ghanaian law, you are welcome to ask the question. Uncle Ben is here to answer you. The telephone numbers that we are using is the same 0208 123 1016 or 073 It's on the screen. So if I'm mentioning it as faster as I can, you can still see it on the screen and then you call. Also, if you want to leave a voice note, go to the WhatsApp number on 075 9662015 for leave a voice note. I'll play for Uncle Ben to answer you as well. Mama ba when so nyina me mo bibia akwaba madam asinamon keep on sharing nana adjumai ye chiao Derek ye boss good morning family mami efua hi family greetings to all staff of BWF Solicitors mami efua Miss Major Super and all the members on the platform. Nice to see you all again. Solomon Solowise King Sefa Snipes. Hey, we did the Solowise. It's a nice name. I say good morning. Oh, Sandra, yenu ba Papa B, and Secretary Papa B. Mpacho, Sandra, yes, yeah, Joe. So say good morning, beautiful man, yeah, Joe. So yenu ba the you can send BWF Solicitors or contact information na aba abegu so nti wohwehwɛ BWF Solicitors a sɛnea yɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu mbia na wante bibia still a wopɛnkyerɛmu yie a you can book an appointment na behu BWF Solicitors ɔma so ɛyɛ ɔmo na go through na bibi a ɔbɛtumi ayɛ afa ho ɛde aboa wo na ɔmɛyɛ na kyerɛ sɛ obia akɔ n'anim kɛseɛ contact we ne nyinaa egu hɔ nom ɛyɛ immigration for further assistance no obetumi afrɛ yɛ lawyer Richie the number wɔ hɔ obetumi afrɛ lawyer Eunice obetumi afrɛ lawyer Charles obetumi afrɛ office line mpo na we booki appointment emergency number no nso ɛwɔ hɔ nom in case na baby a wogyina no ahokyerɛ abɛyi a obetumi afrɛ no nso na obenya mmoayɛ na yɛagye wo so na kyerɛ sɛ yɛama wo ho ahinha wo baby a wowɔ no nti bɔ mmɔden na contact ɔmo yɛ adwuma Monday to Friday. Saturdays deɛ ɛyɛ a na ɛyɛ on special appointment na we book na umako hunti gifty a charm in team in Joe. So say good morning. Ekuadi, good morning, Charles. Or say Amofa, good morning, Uncle Ben, for a wonderful job. Yes, so yeah, Joe. So Nana aso Akwabua Joe. So gifty a charm in team. Please like and share. Gifty the two when him say portion or now like and now share. Then queen. Ye say who say do na share because bebre na was a issue. Mbia waprea nyame ayɛ wadom abenya indefinite leave to live adan na oda so etua sika kɛseɛ ɛma private you can say housing nti sɛ akwanya wɔ hɔ sɛ you can also apply to get a council flat and a council accommodation as a social housing now. Why not take this opportunity? Even you can go back, listen to it carefully. Send Uncle Ben, atone boasi akyerɛkyerɛ mu no. Who follows in your all cana go there straight away, go to the council who call accommodation department hona and I say hona call assessment be on bay no or make me aye na fe so why apply even posisi ani online. You don't need to go to the office anymore. Go to online, borrow now or no go to questionnaire or no one follow what feeling in na so what pe obuafo the lawyers are there, they can support you where they ma nkwa onchichire wo ho ne saade we na ombre until you can go on and do that. The lawyers are there to support you. And from say me person me apply for housing minim kwan a mefa so a meye lawyers misre mo betumi aboa me kwan bi so ana akonya ewo ho no yo enti compato wa wo frɛ ya wo na manikate wo betumi asan afrɛ biom na yekoyenim Uncle Ben say yɛtwɛn etiefo na ahwɛfo ne omo course no yenhwe o can say to say indefinite and you made mention of a EU nationals now or more you can say dependent near the but Omo no because of limited leave to remain omo to me enye den apply enti mbia me wo yiyu me kita me ni yiyu penina nkasa na me ho kafo na me ono wo limited a ayembia se ye mienu ye betumi apply ye mienu di ma na se me a me ye menya me wo indefinite me nko an o se me ye sa application na anka be
our lawful residents be limited to recourse to public funds. Ubetimi apply so housing needs in Kwandia. More AUSS. As far as me are concerned, say limited leave to remain and pre-settled status. And yes, subject to public funds. So housing needs. And what we've realized is so we EU need ebusiani na akoya application yes we are dependent on the EU national until no way other now no nka application no I don't know how they we no but apart from that so we me am good reasons maybe a domestic violence and as EU ni kra ka baby until ni ho as a point of reference now we me aye na omode housing amount just so that obiati ase no yeah, what temporary accommodation and what permanent accommodation. Mashada na made a lot of emphasis on temporary accommodation because almost obia or what housing need biano qualify for temporary accommodation. Almost obia or what housing need. Ain't housing needs so you count 3 factors now. 1, we are lawfully homeless. Now obia untimintia renting so we are potentially homeless. Not because we shada na wuntia, but wuntimintia. Maybe our income is 1,500, accommodation also 1,200. What the gas bill and water and then name it 33 ma. I call £100. £100 and nyadi ebeson. Ebi krana wa baba ko na mami no ka ho. Nyadi ebeson. That is one of the factors. A man we are homeless. Nti nya obi a na ote or that Tesco shops and him, and now that traffic light I say, and now that school there monko. But obia or babe homeless. And obia has served a notice under section 21 and section 8. Sometimes in the council no make say, my landlord no fa court answer. A choice because it was schemes and requirements. But the law is one. Law no both the statute law under the Housing Act and Supreme Court decisions about council's responsibility to rehouse. I is so dire says a council a committee error. Now the judicial review application against Omo. You bet me fine a council no. Inti idea I was a council no. Omu need dani be crowd area more. I was almost per baby. Usually no we a single person. Yet me talk baby no. Feel so frustrate you. It may be so frustrate you. But so we a single person now. A single and priority need because of mental health issues, physical disability, medical issues, domestic violence, and any of the other factors makano. So follow within any of those approach council no na your application. Omo duty, some be your assessment. So almost farm mawa. Obetimi akọ for legal aid na we sue omo for judicial review. Possible so obetimi ayesa.
Wow. Okay, Uncle Ben that's it. Odo for wa homa so kafra say we gina so ache. Nti ase no Uncle Ben cheche mu sa na say oto bu ase na uti na hu ne yi. But your friend say o kasa free my ento nka. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Ona pacho me.
Pacho yeto nka kasa ba page your voice kakra why? Noise wa bus ni mo pa.
Ai, those players are going to live in a more fight. I'm saying that making that housing council house.
O question yenti o, page your voice kakra na on twen na on sim free bus mo na on sam free.
Okay.
Why? Yanti she. Okay, did I say? Yeah, order for one, Master Kafram Pacha Oka say free me until unka.
Oh, hello, good morning, my Uncle Ben.
Good morning.
the free talk number.
Okay.
Me issue ni my wife na me no fie na aware ni mute.
Okay.
No you ni bi ba wa na de ba. But oba no de me ban so ba. And I mean no me the visit me my bam my business all together. Me the visit in the buy.
Okay.
Now person me who say I'm say last time me uncle Ben ka say no that na meet me apply. Na person who say my backroom as a visitor meet me I apply no na say change me could be because me you need me man ba how mo one be ma who from like almost here. And I mean, they visit and I mean, me ba in the same. So I can't even do a bit me. I know I'm not so simple.
Sir, who per se we then? Who dear na
Me
utina broma?
me man so do me ne oba ne yentemu ati on the wako me man omo ba ne yama omo ye mo 6 months mo ndi be real. And o ma me afoje 5 years no.
Okay, yo, yati ase. Uncle Ben ma why? Uncle Ben pacho.
Well, I mean, first of all, though, opese ojina ne family life with ne maso. The sen o my law no. Ye free be immigration status requirement. So what visitors visa won't mean yet. I just said my visitors visa no. And say visa no be within the 6 months are fine. And this idea I just said what to have for 6 months. Now visa no and so I wait to me as application. But the other thing I was always mindful is man I was always qualified children. Qualified children yeah will be our one definite stay. Will be our EU family member into our limited leave. In this case, only EU family members into a more limited stay. Obi or refugee, obi or British, and also be or what 7 years. So omu meet any of the requirements or bit me. But unfortunately, all visitors visa went to me. I just all train once and I went to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what say?
That's it.
That's it. Yes, okay. Yo, other for one, my son, Pacha Frost and now Casa Fremiantonka.
Pacha BDNS. Manyeti, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, really, my question here a bit complicated, but my cousin and application based on the British chart.
Okay.
But application not only requirements, which is the 2 years on the partner no atna, the partner not or your unmarried partner. But almost assessment, almost demand partner route, almost granting a partner route. Until after almost granting no card, so any or switch out for 5 years. We meet English language and also meet financial requirements. Or switching home office say or meet cohabitation with the partner for 2 years. That basis not only but almost granting a partner route instead of a child. In this case, the home office acting.
Hello? Oh. Yeah. Any way article. Any pacho ube to me as a free aba. Uncle Ben way the way I
Okay.
Yeah. Other for one my son pacho kasane yeti.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho name you
Okay.
No via SSD. The problem is no for organ.
Okay.
And some percent maybe almost bar. If you say me more than 18,000 and just me a Juma, if you make me about 1,200. After the me, see the me Juma me 1,300. If you make me application no more than na.
Yo, Uncle Ben be you why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, sir, we EU ni now the webusi about financial requirements. Sir, Nkolano, hopefully no more under 21. No more over 21 now. We shall born. That should be sufficient. To income, no doesn't really play any part. When immigration law application, we are British and I want definitely leave okofa umaba we purely under appendix EUSS nti no income play part say money under 21 we over 21 there now we show more now we means na we be show more that should be sufficient.
Yo papa ya dasi why
Okay, me that's the next me that.
o pese ye ma on so a ene ye ntem na book your appointment ye betimi aye application na ma ofefefe na omunyina wonsa abeka omo wa hanom why yo order for wa homa so mpacho efre o se na wo kasa frɛ em se me wie we ana me mbo me voice note kakra mpacho ba ye ntem ka
That's pa. The patron person busa anka ben say my ends and brand na more 5 years. And I'm busa say make me a council house Libya na. They are entitled for it and patcho.
Yeah ma no recourse to public funds.
The patcho BBN ni so.
Yo Uncle Ben patcho ya ma mi ono so betimi a qualify.
Eligible for it.
What's that?
Me a we bisa question na me bisa ne say what year program no first 3 na Uncle Ben the two so no do you you see yourself under these conditions?
In fact, then I'm because of Zambrano, almost say, won't me benefit, don't because I met me at the council house and it may cost me, but may paper diamond yabbing to not because I'm committing up for more for the Diana.
Unfortunately, no, Zambrano for no, you're from persons from abroad, and Muntime and benefit. Almost shada amended law, no, and we are restricted, so we benefit. Why? Adano can benefit definition of public funds include social housing, council, and a housing association.
Okay, yeah,
that's okay. Yes, that's it. Yo, yen pacho wa also jina so 1 second mami wa pacho na yen hwe ya dofo nso a omo wa ha ne kakra say message bi aba na menkan na omo nso mo nye bi nyesa na yesisi omo yo yenua ba ode your friend is saying nana oberima obrempon ansa no bisa say please my question is what about those who work with agency and find it difficult to rent because some of the rental agencies and or estate agents only want people with permanent jobs and their landlords want them to move because he's selling his or her own house. Please, is it possible to go to the council and ask them or tell them about your solution or your situation for them to support you since it's in the council responsibility to rehouse anyone who is going to be homeless for unintentional purpose? Yo, Uncle Ben, you why what me esi no paper?
Yes. Well, I mean, first of all, no, sir, estate agent, sir, we need permanent residence. Ain't or Maudaya? Yeah, yes, I did that. Meboa.
Yes.
Manyeti there. I had discrimination for immigration purposes.
Yes.
I had discrimination.
Discrimination.
Absolutely. Until also picking on. 2, sir, Obi, our dying na if you run say or tonwa is one of the reasons or they be homeless. One of the reasons I'll bet me the Aqua Council. But just going to council, no. One say factors na me mind, no. Mama bako. For temporary accommodation, me ma 3. For permanent accommodation, me ma 5. And to the first we are homeless, no. And say we are priority need. Right? And we are homeless. We are single man. Who are then to say me? Sabi who is car between the alcohol high down for floor. Or landlord will turn down. Manyeti, or share priority needs na me kana. Say any people can home.
On count.
There be. Because and yes, we are homeless pet. And that's I didn't idea and Crawford forget it. For temporary accommodation, no, homelessness, priority need, and then what? Immigration status.
Immigration status.
Yeah. With the immigration status, you know, habitual residence, which is what in the UK for 2 years. Okay?
Yes.
For permanent residence and accommodation, no. In addition, no, homelessness, and you know, also,
Yes.
and
So
then
it's not
finally, no, local connection. But local
That's it.
connection, and then you know, also, is only to help you get permanent accommodation.
okay.
Ti say wo na wo cause homelessness na ebia wo noise pollution untia rent nenem and you too free feel still no we are homeless legally homeless
Yes. So you can get temporary
accommodation
Okay.
because so bia tiase ye tiase sa na ye be hu se na ye be play system no a be boaye ama nkrofo atimi anya asetena ne bi
Sir. Yo. Me did say we nyane mo aye. Any K o question no enye ni nana obrimpon de no oberema nti yen hwe ne to aso no mpacho wo a wogina so ma me 1 minute why Anita Japan or say how long will you stay before you can apply okay how long will you stay now mpacho o cheche mu kakra ma ya nke be de pa anke Ben or say how long will you stay before you can apply but the first question here still questionable.
Okay, meeting as minim the enti obisa. Yeah, or my niece inti minim the circumstance. First of all, one, I was so habitually residents. I Japan my own habitually resident because I went to UK 2 years.
Okay.
2, I was so priority need. I Japan my own priority need. Ebi a uku no manoba and I'll be a priority need. Minim say baby out, you know, there are issues with it, so that I understand. But unfortunately, no, because went to UK 2 years, and I win your priority need, no, because when you're pregnant, facing domestic violence, mental health issues, physical issues, health issues, flooding, fire, and any of the other stated reasons, I why priority needs now. Now, me even temporary accommodation. And you become priority needs facing domestic violence. Maybe a ukunwabo, and our area bo yakayakade, and then you meet the other 2 requirements, you know. Because domestic violence are called women's refuge. Bear in mind, the women's refuge itself, you know, a mao a year ubi our priority needs. And to cancel no or women's refuge. Now, a house for a temporary period. Ubetimi a shift or cancel. That is one of the reasons. Ubetimi if you want accommodation straight to another accommodation. Tiningi within the law. But this is what I say to people. Opesa or apply for counselor. Check in your mamiensa. Or stay. 1. 2. Wo ye be 2. Ye 2. And now what to Adam for chain or sifi ho. And now we a lodger. Free ho.
Sir.
Ye be 2 ni en 2 a council no betimi aga se ye 2 ntime ma dan. I just say landlord na ma me section 21 notice and now section 8. O ma notice obeka se no ma no fa nko court. O de court obeka se no yeah judge ni seko ba me nko tena ha se ma bail for embassy san law kan answer na wa ba ha na ma dan. Now possible so betimi ayesa. But you know usually no your mouth notice na notice period in each one. What be legally homeless until council no start to show. It may be say by the time we assessment, you know, na proceedings are bem. Meaning the entire sometimes council instances and found court answer. Because court cost no so betia. And that is one of the arguments of which me I am a court and say no, I won't hear me court. Because I don't know say you had to make a court now, you book thousands and thousands of pounds and goodness. Why do you want to do that? And ubetime use and no at the argument say cancel the decision no Wednesday unreasonable and unreasonable into by judicial review. Council no alive to all the court decisions. Especially Croydon Council. And Crawford court pa. And nyina enim say ubetime the omako court. To usually no so lawyer no very good at now, we need letter in addition to the application. Our application is successful.
Okay, Uncle Ben, I raise a few questions, but I'm saying, Mama, Odofona Mama Nejina Swatch, Mama no hope I know Miss Andy answer. I'm patcho, yet you, Minia Bema, wow, man. So your friend was a man, Yantonka.
Mpacho, good morning, Manye. Good morning, Uncle.
Good morning.
Me Pacho, your friend Ella.
Okay.
Me work question you me say Uncle me honorable platform betting me abuamia. The kind ye Ejumam, I know say any related to the program.
Enyashi, koso.
My pressure kakra about nipa so.
Okay.
Yeah, man, no son. I think 2 years back, yeah, man, sign says Ejumam uncle sickly or like on yare or a daughter want me any beam. But we should bear in mind so nipa no or yeah single parent with it ankwalani and no sign yet Ejuma. And sometimes so no one katakra na yare abofra maybe into me yare school to me fresh school to me lock it down and when we unite to me affecting a amount to me kwajuma which najuma for a away.
Okay.
Just recently, almost friend said nearby area ambulance at the final hospital and of free ejumam. Nana on any colleague in a woho into a free ejumam. When to me, I'm follow the normal procedure so better on-call and answer the deputy manager and son if you are thinking say obi woho. As I say, allegation they born in say or abandoned shift. And you know. She was called for investigation and on the decision about say court absent or court sick can I say one bedroom bedroom
okay.
One maybe say in her distress now no wa panic and you know yes say uncle date me abuana I'm not two neba that same person neba our unit. Obey this year or the application figure and buy or the year the master's obey this year. And also let's say as I about that whole number said obey 5 days earlier than expected the finishing time on. And then you know school need the letter come at home office before say we than expected into so and in Krata, the book man after 6 days are omunchaso.
Oh,
we munina ma in fact, woman, assigning your many be a man no just to because what tobaha. Yes, Uncle Ben did to me abwa.
Yo, me ma won kasa bebre. Say eno ani question om ye nhwe ne Uncle Ben betimi aka fa ho why da ye mom so kafra. Why to de bi a ba ne say a no many bi o say wo bisa ansa na watu anamo se ne be ya ento wo kwan so yo Uncle Ben patro ye nua bai na asem arehosam kakra no patro de betimi aka fa ho.
Well, I mean, first of all, Ohima Mema Okose, I mean, you know, be a war, baby, aware, sir, a colano to me yare anytime, and a yare and so dear a bar and more cocoa, and I also to me yare. Within your employment laws, both statutory and a contractual, no, Obia our protection, sir, or yare will be taking paid time off. Paid time off. And to make nima mienu, me say statutory and contractually. Statutory no, when you employment contractual, your employment statutory law are be a buy. And within one employment statement of terms and our contract and so, and also no, you cover for sick absence. But the other thing I also be a business no, omudino sanatino omo your business. And the business ain't me and so and employ bia or take long absences off. Both employment tribunal and a court of appeal. Ama decisions are a stress long absence no is grounds for dismissal. Long absence. And regular absences and so are grounds for dismissal. Okay? That's what it is. Because business, you know, it has to run the business. But your fair and reasonable steps I was employer take. It may be so or foul part-time work. But bibiano ansana you better take a disciplinary action against you for long sickness absence and long absences to say you need bay maybe offer sickness absence and offer absence because of nebana. Omo no be kasa te say no omo no wakasa no. Ya be ma assign say omo no wakasa ma explain ya ma say it may lead to dismissal and it can lead to dismissal. Regular absences either with permission or without permission, it doesn't matter. So a regular absence, not just a won't carry out contractual part of the agreement, and then it becomes a problem. But a processor, I will say a fair, a mal warning, a bisa the intia won't me make you manage any mano, almost has an beat me a wow, your free be returning to work interview, ningina or wha, I was so ye, more yes, our discussion on a bois, a very helpful, a maubia. The second part, oba as a student, obi oba as a student biana, and unti amao as a tenano. Oh, a share our omodi amao then she share. Say, we na was a would so. 1 year we are, ye be revoke was a tena. Student school no, a share, say bibi koso na nya, or me bo home officer man. To omu issue cast na CAS na. Almost I was say, so school corner and so many, and that time I would be school no, a be abekanwa, a bit to me, I'm a more reporter. But see, in revoku was sitting na, obey to me, a switch it, I call skilled migrant program, obi a frame on those things. Because almost someone will be no employable. Now I'm on switch it, now when lose soon as sitting on. Sadly, that is what it is. Or say 5 days, I'm say 5 days now, I better the term no so. Minim de buy into 5 days abeto so I want to know more ti echire ye wie na obefra obetimi afra na ne di nkomo
Yo, Uncle Ben, yeah, that's it. That's it. Mammy, and no say, send your Uncle Ben a church mono, more prefer that way, and no more for office or no way book your appointment, now or with the assembly, mamma. Why? Okay, my main fan to swear na yen share. Yeah, were few questions, even so, idea, but answer na me can near what kind to shift to the skilled migrant visa no. Obi so edibe to menim na edwuma or onya course edibe edwuma na em say edwuma no a oye no anso omani. Enti no omo say omo yinedi o say den omo community ne contract no enti omo aye or the call appeal tribunal whatever omo when to me win the case no enti no crofo ne say omo terminate ne contract no na obeti every home office she will hear from the home office na ono onim say yama no sa statement no na chese owo mretia we be to do something about it. Enti ono de ni timu nyina say 3 years na idi kan ma no 3 years ne still or 3 years visa to betu na msi there bi o entwen krampo na wonte emfree home office for ano ansa na wetu ho anamo na this is the time also utu ho anamo enti me sem bisa e wo ho ne say ayembia say home office for so atro no say sisi a onko because oni contract bi ma anke ben oho no when ya sa notification na letter from the home office still to me a shifted to skill migrant I say wabeye illegal patcho.
Okay, the first process I was say home office letter and how many days no man ko ye betwa wo residency my amount time both under student visa and a skilled migrant amount time usually amount maybe 30 days but usually it's 60 days. Within that time, no, I was with me a stretchy baby. The fact so will be empel way Juma doesn't mean say ubi for intimate far Juma, ubi for me afa. But I was so checking and a card on a valid. And to do that and call online, I also prove my right to work. Or take the third one now, what do date of birth shema, so still a valid ubi I was. And maybe your time, I bet you will be asking prove my right to work. Other if we can go there, we'll try and see what we can do. Yeah. Until we prove my right to work. What the biometric reference number ni shema. Na now we do date of birth shema. Ebe aba na so why don't you valid and I valid.
Okay. Internet say I valid na or so
Yes, no so absolutely yeah.
Ebeko, order for one, Master Pato, your froze, and my tonka.
Good morning. Me pacha ya femi na nakwaku.
Good
Me pacha
morning.
my question. Yeah, me pacha my question my uncle Bernie said EU family image no and me uncle bi ma me nana yamane visa ne da e was say ye kofa ne ba. But me uncle ko Ghana sen ko befa akra na be me application o mu sa say why na be akra na be ba. And ye ka say me uncle na na be ne be ba. That time no Ghana echo train for some months or more and make a decision. In the Oba or sign sending the visa now some days, but still or make a decision to be do London and no make a decision on the visa and but me uncle was unique account was so into me copy. It was small be say uncle fat a bra. Almost say visa no actually so say family to EE family member or say accompany or much ACCB instead of joining family member no my ACC in airport or no Ghana airport or mama akrano amba and room say because ACC no actually just a papa na kasa wo yes. And I may be sad Uncle Ben said, he said it me anything because Papa non soprano, it's own as why America.
Okay. Uncle Ben.
The first thing is where your application you be so one at the baba, unim se untimi nkwa memfa wudin hye ho. That is the first thing. Because obi a all baby so ya kola ubetimi atua na airline no de naba. Okay? To fill your application form. You know, you bisa say obi be accompany wo na one na de obeba mesro memfa ne din hye ho so wonim so ntimi nkwa we explanation out there amaye minim de ntia papa no call Ghana wa bra yemfa visa no ma kola no enti ontimi blame obi ase mama betena Ghana mamfa visa na mama for me you know education we your application and for me bring who pray omo because mama oh make akofa na ba na also oba akofa na pa near the ashes say accompanied by throw din asheho. Normally no service or much accompanied by Ghana immigration omo ma unko. Omo ma unko. Airline no be check you in because omo no once omo who visa omo you okay. But Ghana immigration no and you know why? I had to prevent child trafficking.
Okay.
It's to prevent child trafficking. Omo ayatro accompanied by any omo ye under 18. Omo nyina under 18. To we our application e bisa say one na de ba also be am from member. Na fill our application. Na wa oba ya kola utia airline na ombetimi de naba.
Okay. You Uncle Ben da say yentie we nso na memfa ne ogina so no.
Good morning Manyati. Good morning Uncle Ben. The question the bewa kakra. Uncle Ben, Pacho, my illegal pain. And at 2012, me worry British citizen from Ghana, Ebai. And me ija worry 2015. And at 2018, me sa worry bill. Me worry opahofro. Now from 2012, my year juma to 2019, me jaya juma koye limited koye self-employed limited company. From 2019 to 2021 October, and then no. We want to say government HR limited company, and then move to umbrella. But from October last year, not yet. More pay slip didn't go up to date. Now they say no, 10 years the best one next month. I say me supporting documents are me here, and now absent from the UK no. Dates in November, I start here free. So from 2012, now I'm buying, and I say 5 or 3 years back. Yeah, I started from. Okay. That's it.
You, Uncle Ben, you know the question or no?
It's from UK. Ghana for you very lucky. Until free hako Ghana, obi an stampo, mu free hanso kwa high stampo, kodu Ghana so obi an stampo. It's your honor, yeah, and your problem. I mean, I know, sir. Home Office 40 or Mr. Owusu, I don't know what you're money bonnet, but it's what it is. And so we have application now. What days are watching? It's up to you. Days are watching. But as I always say, omo pesa wo ka no kro enti any problem so wo ye wo 10 years residence now bear in mind say omo sesa law no kakra enti depending on reason tia wo de ye wo 10 years no so why you illegal that now your nationality that's totally different. I think say crachi in nationality as something okano. The nationality no first of all no so wo ye a wow na wugina I was watching her lawfully for 5 years and unya indefinite 1 year but within the 5 years no, any particular year and say watching outside for more than 90 days and for 5 years 90 by 5 450 days but yitimima exemption up to 990 days ultimate at outside. But yeah, calculation in American yen stamp passport to one out the dates in the show. Data I'll call will be any data I'll call. Data I'll buy you behu, but data I'll call it will be any, but an American also can cry. But I was
Yo, no. Other for wow, mas we the only and last caller na one me question and the question me who but me more than say me kind of china why na yemre no other for wow mas patro me yente wonka.
Yo, Uncle Ben, no fan minga boy, manje minga.
One hearable no.
One hello no.
Yo, Uncle Ben, no fan your question be you all answer question here previous person as you mean to massive clarification. Oh fan 2013 I'm having 2.5 based on family life with in being. Ni fit 2.5 fed na ni switch it a spouse visa or marriage partner. Ni for 5 years here no. It was last year 2020 I'm having indefinite. Oh father maybe the man apply for naturalization. Proud to be abami wolo and time be wolo ya mane. We find that maybe the man apply for naturalization. I'm getting 10 years ban code.
Yeah, new na offers 2.5 years. Man, I feel your neighbor who be ane.
Ni na first 2.5 be ane 8 years, 9 years neighbor.
9 years. No, but my name mini will okay ba.
Financial visitors visa neighbor. She must come with you before now.
Okay. Well, you know, the requirement, I guess, I know he be at 10 years, it's there. It will ke oye 8.5, a makaba can me, kone afi ko make a fan abafitahi, kono nyofe, ono.
Ofani means first application there. I hear home office being them for a year and a half.
Okay, now, what fear when it be pragmatically. First of all, I pay 1,300 plus. Oye indefinite. Ubanyo ya Ghana, ubanyo oba, ubanyo ya Efiano Sumo, ubanyo chuni. No, ya fe legal argument na kehabo. Ko fe ni imomi ushika eta. Come 1.5 years ubana. Na kan watchon woni. E wo bo ba fe na kan decision acceptable. Otono oya fe argument ake ni o fe o application o ko he watchon ame. Ameni e acha ya amede. What fe na kan argument down. Okay winning. But okay winning for residency, not for British citizenship. It was just favor very careful because oya ono fiano just like o tower o drive ni Ford Cortina o turn no drive Mercedes Benz. I can only feel o use Ford Cortina for another 1.5 years. She bo na you ko ye kona ko no turn okay Mercedes Benz I show o turn no fe. Ko fe na ke ha bo o problem ni. No ele bo san ni.
Oh, she get that. Yo, watching. Yeah, chair banche. Oh no. I'm a chair ban. O pay once. Donald Leshkumi. 1,500 if I shikafa. Oh no. You are done. For say me fat call beer na 1 minute to pay me fan kind and K. As now what trauma me no na Uncle Ben ya no Daniela any nana of very mammo no. Me be my enua be ma orepu nyame adom ochina why na yenko yenim and the case see Amma and her son are currently living with her sister sorry Minsha say Amma and her son are currently living with her sister Ifua in the 2-bedroom flat social housing. Ifua has a newborn daughter and has asked her sister to get a place on her own since her partner is moving in soon. Ama is a full-time worker, but with her currently situation, with her child, with her child care, she cannot afford a place on her own, though the child's father helps. Ama, being a British, can apply for a social housing with the explanation and knowledge given to us now. Give to us now. Uncle Ben, patroni question or no?
Yes, nti ama or you're legally homeless because your man notice say own free her. She doesn't need notice, but she's been told. 2, our ba into our priority needs. 3, or you're British into our immigration status or qualify for temporary accommodation. The next 2, or no cause any homelessness nana, there be. 3, 5, or yeah, our local connection, I don't know. So we'll look what now of 6 months, then she will qualify for permanent resident. But yes, or qualify for temporary accommodation.
Okay.
And this is what we like. This breaks down the law, no? And that's it. Yeah.
Simple as that, Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
The say Mrena so na Daniela mapamocho misre mo chna me the question bema yenua bema kwaku ewo the community and the law ne so na we bisa amama why nti mo make a date with him na mo ntie no so mo benya mo muaye no ewo ho nyame nhira ye nyina. Uncle Ben ye ba be sorry na so na yenim say ne ya beka how to get social housing and I say council flat no process I only go through no so be tenase na osantie program ibioma by all means obetumi say ofole say o qualify nko a obetumi aye na application ma na successful yeda say na ye ba be sorry yenim say nneoma ekokọ so nneoma bebre news mo ayem bia bibi kakra o de be cheye ansa na asori ana say update bi e wo system ne mo a ya tete say October nneoma bi be twese from boni bi bobo ayem bia bibi wo ho a o pese ye hu before ye kwa ye hu anamo a ye beto anapacho.
Maybe potting be anyhow apart from the fact that energy support no eba into wo rent you be die no see energy cost from China 1st of October ebe cost catch and say aban maniska aban a stop say be cost into no ho. Our government here can some pay immigration more immigration, which is good news. By next week in the baby or mother yeah the updates the beba. But by and large, you know, obia wo asetena bia wo UK. So who here a dan kuhu cancel. Or problem a friend near more. That is all I will say at this stage. Yeah, the money na so.
Yes, that's it's here for now. For some, can say answer na ye did you made ye baby, ye no benya o chefa ewo. Yaminsha ubi biara utie ye. Na mesa bomonka bium £50 note, any £20 note. Say, oh, that ne bia, Miss Row baby, oh, biano bomodia na fa ko bank, especially ye nim say ye nuanum bi wo ho a omo ni bank account. Inti ojini sika cash na no de ato ne sun ye ase. Unim obi a sisa saa sika no nyinaa kɔma obi a ɔno wɔ bank account na ondi ho dwuma ma ɛnyɛ saa sika no ɛbɛhye kwa ɛbɛhye ɛbɛyɛ awerɛhosɛm nti mo nyinaa mo sɛmpa yo mo a mentumi nso ɛnkan mo message mo mfa nkyɛ mo ma mo nka sɛ manyɛte wopɛ saa dodo ɛnyɛ mea yɛde mmerɛ na ɛyɛ adwuma nti mmerɛ no so deɛ a na mentumi ɛnkan na mmom mede bɛma yɛ nua bɛma reku no akenkan ɛwɔ ɔkyena the community and the law eba so from 4 to 6 p.m. After so BWF Solicitors mo nyina mo nim 30 years a ye akoye nim che say 30 years ye wa nana ye wo nana council che say ye wo ni nyina bi na che say ya bi ni ye e wo legal matters mo enti se wo hwehwe ye kira kwan a bomodin abra Anna House e wo 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road ne so e was 7 Sisters o postcode na ye N154NP bomodian na ye telephone number so ehu hia yie gi sa telephone number na wotumi afrɛ ye book appointment nsɛm a ya kan ne no o pese ye boa wo na wo so yes application na ye betumi akyerɛ wo kwano ne aboa wo na wa yes application ama na ye successful nti bra na me ifrɛ na me 0208 493 7340 Sa me bob subium 0208-493-7340. Bomodiana fasa na mano. O emergency bia fre 077-1276-1884. Na fa wasem ebesue ye na yenso yebetumi aboa o. Nyame nka ye ho, nyame nhyira ye. Have a very beautiful weekend. Nyankopon ya admo tena 1st October, another month comes with another blessing. Nyame nka ye ho. Na se ne yebesan ehye bio. Bye bye.
Yɛyɛ fɛ ma yɛwɔ London. Yɛgye abasobɔdeɛ bebree. Na yɛaredare ɛwɔ mmaransɛm mu. Ɛyɛ legal services, bi te sɛ family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wɔ BWF deɛ, yɛn solicitors ɛde anigyeɛ ɛna twitwagye woɔ, na yɛboɔ nso nyɛ den koraa. Yɛn partner panin paa, Bennard Owusu ayɛ lawyer ɛwɔ UK memu bɛburu mfie 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wɔn ho. Nti sɛ ba na ebusuansɛm bi te sɛ child care, ɛyɛ abofra hwɛ mu, awaregya yɛ ho twema mentwe, ɛne ɔhyɛ anaa injunction a yɛde to domestic violence so a, yɛmma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care ɛne family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea ɛyɛ wɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti na yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agyina to mu na ɔsan so yɛ member na kyerɛ sɛ ɛba no sɛ yɛgyina w'akyi ɛretwitwa agyew ɛwɔ family ɛne matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw koraa. Wopɛ advice ɛwɔ immigration nsɛnsɛm ho. Wɔ BWF Solicitors deɛ, yɛn immigration team no avedare ɛwɔ general immigration ho nsɛmsɛm kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho ntotoyɛ, any entry clearance visas, family visas, ni appeals. Yɛn senior partner ɛyɛ member na wasan gyina tum ɛwɔ Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Nti sɛ yɛtae w'akyi a, wonni haw koraa. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada, anɔpa nɔnkron pɛɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia, ɛyɛ 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM. Ɛna memene da nso ɛyɛ appointment nkoa, free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia nɔnan, ɛyɛ 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House, 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sɛ wo nante free 7 Sisters Underground nso a ɛyɛ kwantiaa bi. Yɛn senior partner Bennard Owusu san yɛ barrister yɛagyina to mu na ɔyɛ Ghana Bar Association member ɛna wasan gyina sɛ mmaranimfoɔ ɛwɔ court cases a ɛfa Ghana law ho. Wɔ advise local authorities, official solicitors office ne solicitors bebree ɛfa Ghanaian law ho yie. Na ɔsan yɛ obi a ɔtae kasa ɛwɔ radio ɛne TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.